Hi guys, this is Omega1 and today I'm going to do a deck profile on my Dragon Ruler deck. Post 2013 ban list where they severely got hit and limited. So I'm really interested in this deck now that it's nerfed. I mean, it used to be really good before, of course, but I like to see and test out myself if decks like these that are severely hit can still run. Because I think the biggest hit on the ban list was, of course, the Dragon Rulers, and I think this is one of the biggest hits a deck might have gotten in, well, a few ban lists. But I think it's still playable, and I found that really interesting. So let's just get into it. No more talking. So we've got, of course, one of each Dragon Ruler. Dragon Rulers are amazing. The thing I like about these guys is that they're impossible to get over. Well, not necessarily to get over, but to just get rid of. Because you can send them to the grave, you can banish them, you can bounce them to the hand, heck, you can even bounce them back to the deck. They'll still come back. And that is what I like about the Dragon Rulers. As a card, they're themselves on the field, they're not too big of a threat, and they're not permanent and very durable, but they are really good fodder for a card like Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, or Synchros, or Xyz monsters. So really great cards. But I don't think I really need to discuss the power of the Dragon Rulers, we all know it. Then I'm running the Blue Eyes engine, of course. We've got triple Whitestone and triple Blue Eyes. I really like the engine. I used to play a Blue Eyes deck before, and then I used Blue Eyes Chaos. And since I pretty much had every card I needed, I just decided to switch over to Dragon Rulers, and I think it works pretty well, and I like the fact that a card like Blue Eyes White Dragon, which used to be one of the most inconsistent cards, maybe, or just a normal monster, is still now really playable and really strong, and not as inconsistent as before, so yeah. And Whitestone is awesome, really good to get pluses off with cards of consonance. Next up, to round up the tuners, I've got double Flammable Guard, one Kraseska, and one Debris Dragon. Now, I used to play triple Flammable Guard. Sorry, I hit the camera there. So I used to play triple Flammable Guard. I decided to put in one Kraseska because I wanted to have another target for Tempest effect, except for the Debris Dragon, since I don't have Star Eater. But we'll get back to Debris later. First, Kraseska is pretty fine. It's a tuner. It's a Cards of Consonance target. But they each kind of have their benefits. I run 2 Flammable Guard over Kraseska well, there's pretty obvious reasons, of course. That Flammable Guard is a normal monster, which allows it to have a lot of cool possibilities, which is actually a bit ironic. So you can use it with Azure Eyes to easily summon it, and it's also for Dragon Shrine a good target. But I think this is pretty balanced, having 2 of these and 1 of these. About Debris Dragon, I know it seems kind of silly to run this if I don't have Star Eater, and if I take something out, it will definitely be Debris Dragon. But for now, it's actually pretty useful, because you can actually revive one of your tuners from your grave. Or you can revive, what I prefer actually, you can revive a Mythic Tree Dragon, and that allows for Xyz level 4, well, rank 4, sorry, rank 4 Xyz monster, so that's really great. I am discussing these cards a bit too long in my opinion, but I really like to give my opinion about my card choices. Calypso Wyvern, one I don't really need to talk about too much, really great, easy to get its effect off. Yeah, it's just a good card, add consistency to get your red eyes. Then the Mythic Dragon engine, double water and double tree. Now, the Mythic Dragons, basically, they're really great to get Xyz 8. I know, it's pretty basic. And the fact that they're Earth and Water also makes them really easily searchable if you got one of both. You can easily search the other one out using one of your Dragon Rulers. Pretty basic. Next up, we've got Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Really powerful card, of course. I find it a bit harder to some, well, not necessarily harder, but at a lot of times I'm really reluctant to banish one of my Dragon Rulers to get this guy onto the field. But you're going to have to do that quite a lot of times to get big pushes out. So, I mean, in that way it might be harder, and it's a bit annoying that you can't really get the Dragon Ruler's banishing effect from them if you summon it that way, and there's not really a way to do that. But I think that's good because Konami did that on purpose, of course, because otherwise, if it would be able to trigger the Dragon Ruler's effect, the card itself might have gotten banned. So yeah, if I prefer a heavily nerfed card over a banned one. Moving on with the spells, we're playing Triple Dragon Shrine. It's an amazing card. It's just so good. If I'm playing a Dragon solo deck, so it's basically Foolish Burl plus an extra one if I send a normal monster. It's like the Madness, Tenki being at 3 and Rhoda being at 1. The same with Foolish Burl and this guy. I mean, sure, Foolish Burl is better in a lot of other decks, but in this, I mean, it's really great. Dragon Shrine. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to play with this. So, next up, we've got one Silver Scry. I'm kind of testing this out. I haven't drawn it too much, so I can't really judge about the card. From the times I got it, it was pretty fine, even though you're going to banish your Blue Ices and your Flammable Guards quite a lot of times. It's not too bad, actually. 1 is fine, 2 could be fine, but I think that would change the synergy of the deck, pretty much. Now, my favorite draw engine in spell form in the game probably is triple trade-in and triple Cards of Consonance. Amazing cards to get consistency you heavily need since Dragon Rulers are at 1, so you really need to draw on them. But actually, people say that 4 Dragon Rulers is too little. Well, that's not enough. But in my opinion, even though you've got trade-in, you've got stuff like Dragon Shrine to send into the grave. And most decks, think of this, most decks, they're boss monsters, like Prophecy having their priestess guy, well, girl, or other decks like, I don't know, Machina or something having Machina Fortress. You can only run 3 of those, and we have got 4 Dragon Rulers. And along, of course, 4 Dragon Rules, along with a lot of possibilities to easily get them out. Of course, the cards themselves, well, when they're on the field, are not too big of a threat, and are not too amazing, but still, I think that having 4 Dragon Rulers isn't too bad, actually. So, Trade-in and Cards of Constance, amazing cards. Cards of Constance get your plus, though. Then the deity cards, you've got 1 Burial and 1 Reincarnation. Some people don't like Burial. I adore Burial, because Burial, it's so good because you can just recycle, of course, fodders for your Dragon Rulers, and it helps to, well, have you safely banishing anything you want. I can banish Red as Darkness Dragon without carrying like, oh no, I want that card for later. No, you can just use Burial from a different dimension. It makes you have, well, a lot more reach onto the playing field. You can easily control your banished zone as much as you can control your graveyard. And DDR, of course, too. So yeah, really nice cards. Next up, some staples, double MST and 1 Dark Hole. Traps, I'm playing 5 traps, double Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. This guy's really situational. Raigeki Break is also, I think Raigeki Break, it has the same power, but it really depends what matchup you're playing against. If you're playing something that plays heavy, exceeds monsters like Zenmaines or something, this guy is the way to go. But if you play stuff that just needs pure destruction, well, Raigeki Break is really nice. So sometimes this can just wreck an opponent, but it can also just not stop him, just slow him down a little bit. Next up, 1 Dragon Carnation. You could run this at 2, I like it at 1, again to have like control of your banished zone. Next, double Castle of Dragon Souls, really a versatile card. You can boost up your Dragon Rulers, which by themselves are not too great in terms of attack. So having Castle of Dragon Souls boosting everything, also really nice that it's a trap, so that when your opponent attacks, you can just flip this and trigger cards like Wyvern or I don't know. And of course, also nice when your opponent tries to MST it, like blind MST. So that's the main deck. I'm quickly going to go through my extra deck. Now, it's really not finished. I don't have Dracossack, I don't have Big Eye, I don't even have Felgrand. So you might say it's real primitive, and I know it is, but this deck is not, my extra deck is not finished yet, and I'm just going to give you some advice on how to build it, because it's really up to you how you want to play. So first off, sorry, I put the camera there. So first off, Azure Eyes. Azure Eyes is a really good card. I mean, pretty easy to summon. It adds protection to your monsters and helps you to spam blue ices. Really good wall also. And it's really good if your opponent has like heavy back row and he's got like Torrential Tribute or Mirror Force, and he's waiting you to make like to finish your combo, and then is going to Torrential Tribute. But before you do that, you actually summon an Azure, and then you're safe for that turn. And your play might not be as strong as it used to be, but it is enough to play safe, have field advantage, and turn after summon the blue eyes, and then you can go further. You can even summon another tuner and go for another one to get another protection. And that is why I like it at 3. Now, if you have a really powerful arsenal of Xyz and Synchro monsters like Dracosac, and you don't find space for this, can't find space for this guy, I would really suggest to play at least one, because the card is really good, and you might not summon it too much, but when you summon it, it's really strong. I think that playing it at 2 is the best. 3 is just basically because I've got space in here, and I'm using my cool customized Judgment of Light special edition kind of sleeves. So yeah. Next up, I would advise, of course, to play an arsenal of level 8s. As you can see, the trinity of obvious choices, but Colossal Fighter in case you're dueling like a warrior deck, or if you need to stall out. Red Dragon Archery, a nice beater, 3k, and if you're playing against something that has heavy defense position monsters, they're really great to have an advantage on that part. And then I would decide to, advise, to run some Xyz forwards. They're pretty easy to make with stuff like DDR and Debris Dragon with Mythic Tree Dragon. So I think they're pretty fine. I mean, it's up to you. You can choose what to play. And then of course, rank 8. I all got Heraldic Sun Dragon and Given Public Strings. So yeah. So that was basically the deck, guys. Thanks for watching, and please leave me your thoughts on the Dragon Ruler, how they're doing, and if you think it's still playable. In my opinion, it's far from dead. It's not as strong as it used to be, but it's really fun deck. And please leave your comments in the section below if you liked the video. And so yeah, until my next video, my Omega 1 signing out.